I've been playing the game for quite some time now, and I feel like it's finally time to rank every level in Crash Bandicoot 4 It's About Time. I've enjoyed almost every second of this game, and I feel like this video would be a perfect way to show you all how amazing the levels are.
Hey Crypt.
Serbian Skylands?
Yeah, dummy.
Are you in my head?
I guess so.
Well, do you want to help me rank the Crash 4 levels?
Yeah, sure.
Alright, cool. Well, I guess Serbian's on board as well. Right, okay, well, I just remembered it is December now, so I feel like it's the perfect time to whip out the Christmas hat. What do you think, Serbian?
Too soon, dude.
Don't listen to him. I've had that Christmas tree up for longer than anyone else on this planet. So in this video, I'm going to be ranking the 29 main story levels, which does mean I won't be including the flashback tapes, I won't be including any of the inverted levels, and I won't be including any of the alternate timeline levels, at least the ones that you don't have to play to beat the game. So anyway, me and Serbian, I guess, will be ranking these Crash 4 levels on how amazing they look, on how fun they are, how unique they are, the platforming, the enemies, how frustrating it is to complete, and so many more things. So, with all of that said, with no further ado, let's get right into it. Most of the Crash 4 levels are really fun to play, with incredible music, really good looks, and just really enjoyable platforming. But there is one, and one level only, that seems to slip through the cracks here, and I can safely say that it's the only level in this game that I truly dislike. I'm talking about Bears Repeating. The start and the middle of this level are pretty bland and not unique in any way, which makes it feel like filler content for the final part. But of course, this isn't the main reason why I dislike this level. I dislike it because the final part reintroduces Polar. I have only one word to describe Polar. Annoying. He is just so annoying.
Yeah, you're right. Polar is so annoying. The Polar segment might be my least favorite part of this game. First of all, when boxes are stacked in 4, they are near impossible to hit because of Polar's random hitbox. You have to run at them at the tightest precision ever and you still may miss them. And mix that with the boxes on ice and the boxes in air, which are so easy to miss, and you have yourself everyone's least favorite level in the game. And Toys for Bob knew what they were doing. They even referenced everyone's least favorite level in the Insane trilogy. However, this time it's solid, so not everything is bad.
Yeah, everything you say is true, Serbian, and I completely agree with you, which is why Bears Repeating is hands down the worst level in this game. At number 28, I have Rush Hour. Not only is it one of the longest Crash 4 levels, but it's also really tedious and filled with hidden boxes. This level is quite interesting and unique though. You start off by playing as Dingodile, but then halfway through you swap to Tawna. And whilst both of these characters are pretty fun to play as, in certain circumstances, it can be quite frustrating. The Tawna one is bearable, I'd say decent at best, but the Dingodile part just is so annoying. It takes far too long to beat, and if you die, the checkpoints are pretty far spread out, and if you're going for all the boxes, this will take a very long time. Overall, I wouldn't mind this level if it wasn't for how long it took to complete, and that really ruins it for me. Up next is Run It By You. What does by you mean? Serbian, do you know?
I have no idea, dude. You're the one who speaks English.
Well, I mean, yeah. This is not one of my favourite levels for one main reason: the jetboard. I never liked this in any of the Crash games, so the fact that they brought it back is a little bit annoying. The controls are very clanky and the steering just does not work well. especially since you're put into tight spaces where you have to avoid mines and whirlpools. Luckily there is some platforming too, but even then, there are tons of really obnoxious hidden crates all over the place. And let's not forget that part where you have to go down a really fast moving stream and try to hit all of the crates on the jetboard. How are you expected to get all of these?
Hey, come on, it's not all bad. Like, yeah, sure, the hidden gem is impossible to find, and yeah, the jet ski parts can suck, but I really like the swamp area and the segment where you have to platform and break boxes while on top of a moving food truck that's being driven by an armadillo is really challenging, but also really fun. And if you struggle with the jet ski, you can always just go backwards.
Okay, fine, it's not all bad, but there are some really terrible parts that completely ruin this level.
Next up, it's Great Escape. Now, while I do like how the level looks, and the part where Cortex betrays you is really cool, I'm just not that big of a fan of the Cortex part. Like, it's not bad, but it's just mediocre, and in my opinion Cortex overall isn't as enjoyable as the other characters. But what really frustrates me is the ending part, where you have to jump on these small platforms that are running into you at a very high speed, and have to hit all the boxes on those platforms while trying to avoid the flying robots with TNT crates, and if you miss a crate, there is no going back.
And now let's move on to Jetboard Jetty.
Now, I really like the theme of this level, like a cursed, sunken pirate ship, and the dark green color really fits it well, but it's just mediocre. The jet ski parts are not bad, but if they weren't in the level, I wouldn't really care. They're kinda meh.
And I mean, even though Jetboard Jetty and Run It By You are pretty similar in the fact that they both feature the jetboard, they both have moving rafts, and they divide it up by small platforming sections, I do like Jetboard Jetty a lot more because the boxes are a lot less annoying and you have more space to move around on the jetboard.
But then at the end of the level there is this random mini boss battle, Louise. Now what annoys me about this boss battle is first you're on a jet ski, and second you have to lead these rats into hitting her tentacles, and this boss battle is just not that great.
Hey man, leave Louise alone. She's just a lonely sea monster that wants some love.
Simp!
Ugh, moving on. At number 24 we have Crash Compactor. I'll be honest, this is a fun level with really good platforming, but there comes a time where only the outstandingly unique levels will get good praise, and, well, this level just isn't really anything special. Crash Compactor kinda just blurs in with the other two Wasteland levels, but it's not bad by any means.
The next one is Stowing Away. Now, I really like all the niche references to CTR, and I love the idea of going through oxides vents, and there's a lot of fun Ika Ika platforming, but the downside is that it's way too similar to Out for Lunch, and what sucks is that it's not as fun as Out for Lunch.
Now on to Food Run. This level looks pretty great and is a pretty cool theme for a level, and all four of the masks have their very own sections, which is pretty cool and quite challenging. But a lot of the segments in this level are quite forgettable, and the ones you do remember are the ones that are really annoying to complete.
Yes, especially when you need to wall run on these moving trucks and flip gravity. And these boxes, man, I can barely tell whether I'm gonna land on them or die. Next up, it's Nitro Processing. Now, I really like the sewer theme of this level, and I really like the difficult platforming. But oh boy, can it be difficult.
You're not wrong there. And what makes it worse is that this level is incredibly long, and that does not add up to a pleasant experience. At number 20 is a real grind. This level perfectly introduces Lani Loli and his new powers. And the box placements can be tough at times, but nothing too tedious.
Oh, but don't forget about these boxes in the tires.
Oh yeah, those suck. Coming up next is Home Cooking. This level introduces Dingodile, everyone's favourite dingo and crocodile hybrid. And he's a new playable character now, and I have to say he is absolutely bursting with personality throughout the entire game. Maybe a little bit too much at times. And he's quite fun to play as. Whilst he has a bunch of new gimmicks, it doesn't stray that far away from Crash's core gameplay. But I'll admit, the box count is a little bit overwhelming. At number 18, we have Cortex's introductory level, Fossil Field. Even though Serbian doesn't, I really like Cortex. He's definitely my favourite character in this game, which is a very unpopular opinion. And this level by itself is absolutely breathtaking. The way you go from a deep jungle to a massive active volcano is so awesome, and the music perfectly portrays this. And I love the tough puzzle sections here as well. I would have this level at a much better place if it was completely up to me, but since Serbian's in my head and could torment me for the rest of my life, let's just move on.
At 17, it's Hook, Line and Sinker. Now, while I'm not a huge fan of Tana, this level is definitely a good one. The music and the platforming from ship to ship is really good, and it's pretty short, and it has the least amount of boxes at 100, and none of them are insanely hidden. So yeah, overall a solid level.
And up next is Off Balance. This level looks great, it plays great, it's just great. But honestly, out of the 3 levels in this world, this one definitely feels the most underwhelming. I say this because a lot of the mechanics are just stolen from the other levels, and the new wall running that this level introduces isn't that fun at all.
Yeah, and the boxes off screen and the hidden gem can be a real pain in the neck to find.
And at number 15 is the very final level in the game, Cortex Castle. Overall, this level throws so many things at you, and it requires you to really give it all you got. But the first half of the level is actually surprisingly manageable. Sure, it is tough, but it's nothing that you haven't already done before.
Until near the end, when the game starts throwing very hard platforming at you. You need to go from mask to mask in the final gauntlet, which is one of my favorite parts of the game, but I don't think it's as hard as people make it up to be.
Yeah, honestly, I agree. One of the best parts of the game. I'm so glad that this was featured because it's such a cool idea. Honestly, I wish the entire level was like this, a massive masked gauntlet, because some parts of the level feel a little bit bland.
Next one is Out for Launch. Now, I really like this level. Not only does it have my favorite track in the game, but it also has fun Ika Ika platforming and enemies who are based around Oxide's design.
Speaking of Oxide, he makes a brief appearance in the opening cutscene for this level. Sadly, even though we don't see him for that long and there's no boss fight with him, this is still a really nice addition. Blast from the Past is next, and yes, I definitely did have a blast playing this. In fact, all of the levels in the Egapus dimension are really fun and different from each other. What I like is that Capunawa still feels fresh in this world, even though she was also used in the world before. There's a lot of interesting and unique challenges with her that weren't in the previous dimension. And also, the rail grind sections are absolutely gorgeous. In at number 12 is the second level in the game, Insanity Peak. Right from the very beginning, this level is filled with an eerie atmosphere. You can hear strange noises and random trembles in the level, and it does really creep you out. I also love how Lani Loli can sometimes shift platforms in and out of existence without you being able to control him. This is quite fun and interesting, and it does build up to you eventually finding him and being able to control him later on.
And I really like the chase sequence a lot, and the cave theme of the level really reminds me of Crash 1.
Just missing the number 10 spot is the first level in this game, Rude Awakening. I have to say, right from the very beginning, this game put a smile on my face, because as soon as you land into the level, there's tons of references hidden around the beach. There's this spiral floaty here, the fridge spells out crunch, you can listen to the original trilogy's main themes, and there's a surfboard that has the same pattern as Crash's tattoos in Crash of the Titans, which is one of my favourites. And also, this level is an absolute bliss to look at. There were so many different parts of the level where I just stopped for a second and looked around and just thought to myself, wow, the amount of detail here is insane.
And I really like the ending of the level, especially the vertical segment. It looks absolutely beautiful. But this box is really not cool for the first level.
Honestly, a really great start to a really great game. In 10th place, we have Hit the Road. Out of the 3 Wasteland levels, this one is definitely the trickiest and definitely the most unique. You start in a heavy junkyard with tons of really difficult placed crates, and then at the end you hop into a gyro ball and you have to escape this massive monster truck.
Yeah, I kinda wish there was more of that ball. It was probably my favorite vehicle in the game, and it's a shame that it was only on this level.
Agreed. It's just so much better than Polar.
At number 9 we have Dragonon. Now I think this level makes use of Akano perfectly, and this is the most fun I had with him.
Yeah, especially when obtaining the blue gem from this level, which requires you to beat it without breaking a single crate. This completely changes how you platform through the level, and you have to use Akano in smart ways to get past things. Also, just look at those dragons, they are so damn cool. In 8th place is Booty Calls. Wow, what a name. I like this level because it sticks to the Crash formula. It doesn't go out of its way to do something bizarre that could make me end up hating it. And that's why this level is almost flawless. It's very solid and a very good time. The only thing I'm not really a fan of is the split paths, and that's it.
The inside area has a really cool atmosphere, and right at the end it's so satisfying to break the pile of boxes. At number 7 it's Stay Frosty. Now I really like the ice lab, and it's quite fitting that they bring back the lab assistant in this level. And also the Kapunawa platforming on this level is really fun, and it's a quite short level, which for me is great.
Yeah, this helps make the level feel fun instead of frustrating. And honestly, this is some of the best platforming that Crash 4 has to offer. It's incredibly fun in the 3D sections and incredibly fun in the 2D sections. Also close to top 5 is number 6, Dino Dash. This level starts off pretty generic if I'm being honest, but I'm okay with this because it makes the upcoming parts even more special.
Now I just wanna say that this level has my favorite chase sequence in the franchise. First we have this epic grind where you're being chased by a stampede of a herd of Triceratops.
And after avoiding those guys, things start to heat up because there's a lot of really tricky platforming and very tight jumps with your slide.
And then we have the T-Rex. Firstly, the T-Rex chase sequence is divided by normal parts of the level so that it doesn't get boring. And secondly, the T-Rex looks absolutely amazing, and I also think the obstacles used are very creative, and I love this chase sequence.
In 5th place is Snow Way Out. This is a fantastic level to showcase in the demo for this game, because it's fun and it's very unique. And the variety of gameplay here is insane. You start off with some basic Kapunawa platforming, and then it suddenly kicks into high gear as you have to platform across falling ice in a very short time limit.
It's a nice introduction to Kapunawa, and there are a lot of secrets, but not ones that are hard to find.
Also, this music slapped harder than I slapped this guy in the face. In 4th place is Toxic Tunnels. Being the second last level in the entire game, yeah, this offers a lot of challenge. And thank goodness, but yes, fun challenge. Fun challenge. You start off in an underground sewer, but then as the level progresses, you get closer and closer to Cortex's castle, and things start to get lava-y. So yeah, this is awesome.
Hold up, let me stop you right there. You haven't unlocked the Color Jam path, have you?
No I haven't. Why do you ask? Is it hard or something?
Oh boy, is it difficult. The first part is quite simple. However, the second part is where the pain starts. You need to jump on the electrified ropes and avoid the electrified obstacles that move at a high speed. Then on the third part, the part where you need to avoid the minecarts that have these rats on them, is really painful, and they even hide the boxes all the way to the end. And then you have these timed wall runs that if you are too late, you'll get barbecued. In the fourth part, you have to jump on top of the platforms that will burn you alive if you stand on them for too long, and you have this falling iron crate that you must save the only Aqua they give you, otherwise you need to have perfect precision. And then the fifth part is just riding on top of a minecart, and then you take your hidden gem.
Oh, well, that sounds very fun, and I look forward to doing it. And in third place is Give It a Spin. Sure, it isn't the best level, but it's really good and really memorable. It's one of the levels that I want this game to be remembered by.
And the part with the really long spin jumps and the lily pad platforming are really fun.
Yeah, you're right there. I mean, this right here, this is definitely a highlight of the game and one of the best looking moments. Oh yeah, of course, Akano. This is his introductory level and he feels so smooth and fun to use. The level and Akano just work perfectly in unison, and it's exhilarating and action-packed for the entire level.
At number 2, it's Offbeat, my personal favorite level in this game. Now I love this level, it's so colorful and vibrant, the enemies look absolutely amazing, the difficulty is not easy but it's not too hard either, the music is amazing, and the only thing that I'm not a huge fan of is the ending ride section, but everything else is just perfect.
And of course, don't forget the massive eruptor balloon that floats around in the background.
Oh yeah, well that automatically makes it the best level in the game.
Not quite for me though. Offbeat was a close second, but my number one favourite level in Crash Bandicoot 4 It's About Time is Crash Landed.
Crash Landed at number 1? Are you insane?
Okay dude, hear me out. I understand the problems that people have with this level, but none of them seem to bother me that much. For instance, the pink goo that makes Crash slip doesn't bother me at all, but I can understand how some players could get frustrated. And I kinda get how people don't like Snurgle, which is the little alien thing that you ride on, but it's a lot better than Polar in the sense that, sure, it controls the same and has the same hitboxes, but the crates are far less obnoxious and a lot easier to get. But anyway, on to why I really like the level. It's the best looking level in the game, and I don't know how anybody could say otherwise. I mean, look at this! Look at this! Look at the axolotls in the background. There's just so much detail put into this level, and it really pays off. I love how everything looks like it's underwater, even though it actually isn't. Fun fact, I actually thought that this was going to be a water world when I looked at the trailer for the game. Gonna be honest, I'm a little bit sad that it's only one level, but they managed to cram so many fun and exciting things into it that I can't complain. So yeah, whether you like it or not, Crash Landed is my favourite level in this game, and there is no changing my mind. Well, there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. We finally ranked every level in Crash Bandicoot 4. And even though I spoke negatively about some levels, they're pretty much all good in their own way. Definitely try to pick this game up if you haven't already. Oh yeah, and of course also make sure to like the video if you enjoyed, and make sure to subscribe if you want to see more videos from me. Ugh, fine. Go sub to Serbian Skylands as well. He's a pretty cool YouTuber, and not only does he make Crash 4 content, but he also makes a lot of Skylander videos too. So please do check him out. Happy now?
Yeah, thanks.
So with that said, I'll see you all later. Are you gonna go, Serbian, or are you gonna stay in my head forever?
Yeah, you're kinda annoying. See ya later.
Great.